What's up, everyone? Welcome back to my channel, Divine Libra Wisdom. I'm back again with a weekly check-in reading for Cancers. This is going to be for the week of the 16th. And before I get into the cards, I'm going to get my disclaimers and things out of the way, and then get some channel messages for you as I pull the cards and, go from there. I have been doing this on my the previous video, but or rather on my other channel. I mentioned this channel, so I'm going to do the same and mention my other channel. I have a main channel where I'm trying to become more active on that channel as well. But I did just drop a video over there for Valentine's Day. And it's more so about self-care, self-love, and I did not mention this at all in the Libra video. But just to explain a little bit more, if you're interested in that, I do sit-down talks as well as travel vlogs. I was just in Dallas and I didn't do one because it was just a little chaotic, but yeah. But what I will do is I have some trips coming up, so I will likely record and do things like that. So more travel vlogs on the agenda, but definitely more sit down talk videos where I just, it's not any thrills or anything like that. It's just me talking about different subjects and things that I find important and that I feel like should be discussed. So yeah, if that's, if you're into that, then you can definitely go check my channel out, and it's just my name, Stephanie Lachey. You can probably find it by looking at who I am subscribed to on this channel. So yeah, or again, it'll be in the description box, so you'll see my name and just type that in and it should pop up and you'll see my face. I do show my face over there, so yeah. Trying to remember anything else that I may have forgotten. I think that's it. Anyway, so let me go ahead and get into my disclaimer. So if you're new to the channel, thank you so much for tuning in. I greatly appreciate it. If you're new or if you're returning to the channel, I thank you again as well for returning. Hopefully both groups have subscribed to the channel. That way you know when I drop new videos. You can hit your bell notification. That way you know when I drop new things. I also dropped in like an impromptu pick a pile reading yesterday. So definitely go check that out if you want to kind of just know what's going on generally speaking. I'm going to try to do an all signs reading tomorrow and have it uploaded tomorrow. But in the event that I don't, it is coming soon. Either it'll be up tomorrow or I will do it sometime this week. But since I'm off tomorrow, I'm going to try to do it tomorrow because I have things to do, but I don't have so much to do where I can't necessarily do it, but it just depends. But I will make a post under my community tab and just let it be known that I do have an all signs reading on the way. So yeah, as you listen along throughout the video, make sure you're liking the video, make sure you're leaving a comment, make sure you're sharing, and doing all the things. The decks that I'm using, it will be in the description box below. If you want to book a personal reading with me, definitely can do that as well. That information will be in the description box as well. Take what resonates. You don't have to everything is not set in stone. You don't have to take on everything. Just use your discernment. These readings are meant to confirm things, not dictate how your life goes, or tell you how your life is gonna go. Like, this is just generally speaking, it's for a collective. So just like I said, use your discernment, okay? Noise, if you hear some noises, I will try to keep it to a minimum. Speak over it, wait till it ends. If you hear some little grumbling and noises, I do have a little munchkin in here. My cousin's dog, my little fur cousin, is in here chilling with me, so you may hear that. You may just hear outside noise. Like it's a whole thing. So just bear with me, okay? Um, Yeah, and even if you have like general questions, you can leave a comment in the comment section and ask me there. I do check the comments, or you can send me an email, or a message or whatever, and do that. So, um, yeah. Um, so yeah. Without further ado, I'm gonna go ahead and get into the cards. Go ahead and get those shuffled, and I mean, if the decks are shuffled already, but I do like to shuffle on camera too. It helps me get in the energy. Oop, okay. That wants to come out. But let's get some channeled messages for you, Cancer. I hope I said Cancer beforehand, but yeah, this is for Cancer. Dang, all these your little cards are flying out. Cancer, sheesh. Okay. That could be an indication of what your week will be like, Cancers. Some of you things may be happening rapidly for you all. Maybe fast communication, having to make decisions quickly. So yeah. I'm hearing the words fuel to the fire, adding fuel to the fire. So I don't know, maybe something that you're saying, or maybe some information that you're getting is adding fuel to the fire. Maybe it's firing you up, making you upset, or making you want to take care of something, or basically it could be, oh Lord, it could be inspiring you to take action, Cancers. So yeah, whatever, something, yeah, like I said, something may be firing you up, something that's getting you going. I heard the word peach tree, so I don't know, maybe this could be somewhere in Georgia. Some of you, that could be significant. Maybe some of you are like going to Georgia or Atlanta specifically, or maybe that's where you live. But yeah, maybe Atlanta, Georgia could be significant. I'm also hearing Savannah, Georgia. That could be significant as well. Some of you may want peach cobbler. Cancers, look, I'm a Cancer moon as well as a Taurus rising, so I love my sweets. I have a major sweet tooth, so I totally get it. Especially over the weekend, it's all, filled with sugary goodness. But hopefully you didn't do too much, because I definitely have to reel myself in. Like, okay, we're gonna chill out today. Let's see. I'm also seeing you may want a love like Morticia and Gomez. I love Morticia and Gomez, but that just popped into my mind. Yeah, Morticia and Gomez. I'm seeing him when it's like the scene where Gomez has Morticia like up on his shoulders and helping her to, I think either she was hanging something up or fixing something or something like that. But yeah, some of you may want a love like Morticia and Gomez. Okay. All right, so let's get into these cards. I'm trying to see if anything else channel wise is coming up. Last channel message that I'm hearing is slow and steady. So some of you may need to, even if things feel like they're kind of things are like happening back to back, or you're getting like fast communication where you have to do a lot at one moment or at one time, try to pace yourself, try to take a step back and just do one thing at a time. So yeah, slow and steady wins the race. So yeah, that's what I'm getting. All right, so the first card out that we have is Four of Pentacles. This card right here. You could be kind of cautious going into the week with your finances. Excuse me, with your finances. Maybe that has something to do with the information that you get that comes in rapidly. This could be I know it's tax season. People are gotten their, W-2s and things of that nature. So some of you, sorry, I had to adjust myself in the seat. Some of you may be feeling like the push or the need to get like, maybe there's something, yeah, I'm getting something that like you maybe need to focus on your taxes, focus on your finances, how you're spending. We just came off of Valentine's Day, so some people may have overspent, overdid it, but nonetheless, I feel like you can get back on track, if that makes sense. And I forgot to mention, but if you're, if you look at my videos, these videos in particular, I go column by column by column. So, start of the week, midweek, end of the week. But yeah, going forward, Cancers, I feel like you all are very much, things could be kind of shaky, or it could feel shaky. It may not even necessarily be shaky, because to me, with the Four of Pentacles, you have a lock or you have a handle on your finances, but you may just be kind of worried about them. You could be holding on to money so tightly that you feel like you may have overspent, but you're actually in the in the red, or in the good. You're in good standing. So it's just kind of like there could be some overly cautiousness, if that makes sense. You may just be overly cautious about the things that, what as it pertains to your finances. You do have the Chariot out here, and Cancers are coming out in the reading with the Chariot card here, because the Chariot card is represented by Cancer. So maybe a trip is coming up, and I'll, of course I'll handle this or cover this when I get to that card. But there could be a trip that's coming up that has you kind of worried a little bit. You could be worried about if you have enough money to plan it out. But the thing is, with planning a trip, that I found is that, you just spread the cost out by month. So book your hotel, buy your flight, if you have to fly. Yeah, because I know a lot of these hotels, sometimes you don't necessarily, especially if you have like an account with the hotel, you don't necessarily have to put up a deposit. You can just, secure it, and you pay the day that you arrive. So yeah, I feel like you're overly cautious for no reason, if that makes sense. And you're kind of like, you want to have like control over resources, but you don't necessarily have to be worried about that, if that makes sense. Because you have a good hand, like you see how like she's holding the coin, like she has a handle on it. So it's just kind of like you don't necessarily have to be worried about that. Okay, so you do have the Coven card that comes out, 17, or number 17, Coven, and this is Soul Family. You could also be worried about covering costs for something. And I mentioned a trip, but it also could be, maybe it's like a family trip, literally, or maybe it's a friend group trip, and you're just trying to make sure maybe one or two in the soul family or your friend group, maybe one or two can't afford certain things, or maybe you're deciding to rent the Airbnb or like the hotel or whatever, let somebody stay with you, and stuff like that. And you know, you may have been cool with covering costs, but now you're kind of like worried if you'll, you know what I'm saying? It's kind of like worried if you'll have enough to cover everything. So maybe you overpromise a little bit, or maybe you feel this way. It may not necessarily be the case, because like I said, with Four of Pentacles, this is like a fear. This is like a projection of being overly cautious, or being kind of scared about your resources, and kind of like hoarding them and holding on for dear life, like you're gonna lose something. So the best thing to do is not to you know what I mean, don't start making promises that you feel as though that you can't keep. Try to, yeah, because with the Four of Pentacles, sometimes this can be like a person who boasts about what they have. In some small cases, like, they're boast about what they have, and then like they start spending, and then like they start worrying about, they start seeing the bills rack up, you know what I mean? And then they're like, oh snap, I shouldn't have went too hard, I shouldn't have done this, or I shouldn't have done this, I'm sorry. So it could be something like that, you know. But again, you're good. Just be mindful of what you're spending stuff on. Make sure it's necessary, you know what I'm saying? And you know, don't necessarily worry about it. But if you're in the clear, like if you have crossed all your T's, dotted your I's, and you see, you can look at your projection for your expenses, and you know everything, the important things are taken care of, then it's okay to splurge a little bit, you know what I'm saying? Just don't overdo it, and you'll be fine. Now I also get with this soul family, like all these eyes I get, and this is kind of similar to what Libra got in their reading. They had a prying eyes, but this is soul family. But I also feel like this is like family, could be family or friends, could be like pocket watching too. I get that because all these eyes are kind of like they're looking directly at the, you know, us. You know what I'm saying? They looking directly at us, and so it's kind of pocket watching. People could be pocket watching you, trying to see what like seeing that you are able to spend so much money, and you're gonna like, what is she? It could be like, what is she or he or whoever, you know, like what do they do for a living? You know, how do they got all this money? Blah blah blah. You know, stuff like that. And so it's just one of those things, like, just be careful, you know what I mean? Don't be going around flashing money. Don't be going around like boasting about things, you know, and then be worried after the fact and be like, what if somebody come rob me? You know what I'm saying? It makes me think of like those people who, Lord, like they'll get on camera, right? They'll take a picture with all their stacks of money spread out, or like, you know, they do like the, what is the money phone or whatever the hell it is, or the stacks of money up to their head, and they're like, you know what I mean? Like it's just corny. That's corny stuff, you know, boasting about things or showing off in a way. And it's just like, you don't have to do that. Like the most rich people, they don't go around flashing their money. You know what I'm saying? Like they don't do that. Sorry, I just had a, where is it? There we go. Yeah, I might have seen my face too. It's fine. Cause you know, if you go over to my main channel, you're gonna see it. But I just have to put my hair up because it's kind of getting on my nerves. But yeah, you know, they'll do that, and then it's like, don't you know, like you are kind of like signaling. It's like I forget what it's called, like a dog whistle. Yeah, that's the word I'm looking for. That's one of my favorite words now. But it's like a dog whistle to signaling to people like, hey, I'm a fool, come rob me, because like you're sitting up there flashing your money like an idiot. So if that's something that you're doing, I'm gonna need you to not do that, because you're putting an unnecessary target on your back. So yeah, you know, and that's only for a small number of you. I feel like for the most part, people in their right minds know not to do that. So yeah. Okay, but moving on. We have the Knight of Pentacles. I feel like the Knight of Pentacles is someone who is very like trustworthy, very responsible, very excuse me, like very dependable. Like you can depend on this person. So with Pentacles out, this could be you all could be dealing with um, earth signs. Sorry. Yeah, you all could be dealing with earth signs, and then you're out in the reading Cancers with the Chariot card out there. But yeah, I just really get someone who's like very like reliable, dependable, someone, and this could even be like, now say for instance, you know, if for whatever reason you did overspend, or you did too much, or you're kind of falling short a little bit, the Knight of Pentacles, this could be someone who steps in or comes in to help you financially, and you can pay them back, or you know, maybe they just give you a loan. This could be like an earth sign uncle, or a father figure, father, friend, but someone, this is someone that you can depend on, you rely on, and if you need help, they step in and they help you out. But yeah, so then we have crossing the veil. This is morning. So with this, I see like there's a little, this looks like a ghost around this lady, and this lady looks like she's kind of like, she's putting on her makeup, but she looks like she's kind of in a reflective mode, maybe because I notice whenever I'm getting like dolled up, or you know, doing my makeup, a lot of times I'll think about things, you know what I mean? And so this could be the time where, you know, you commune with your ancestors, you pray, you do those types of things. So this could be something that you're doing. You know, maybe you could be thinking of a time, an easier time where you did have those loved ones around who were there, you know, when you needed them. You know, you could call them up, get advice from them. So this could be, even though there's a woman, a feminine figure in this card, but I mentioned a, you know, uncle, like a masculine figures. These could be figures who are around you right now. They could be like very like protective over you. They may step in spiritually in the spirit realm. They may step in and be around you, and you know, get you out of sticky situations, help you out, lead you to, you know, resources that you can get. If you know, if you have passed on loved ones who happen to be masculine, like uncles, a father figure, brother, older brother, you know, things of that nature, or even a younger brother, you know, it doesn't matter, but they could be surrounding you or be around you, kind of helping you out, because it's like, it could be one of those things where, and this is midweek, by the way, this was the start of the week, midweek. But by midweek, you could be kind of like in that mode, like reminiscing about family, home, and hearth. And number 4, it's very related to Cancers, because Cancers represent the home. They represent stability, family, things of that nature. And so, you know, this could be by midweek, you could be very like reflective about family, members who passed on, family members who are still, you know, present, alive, or whatever, but maybe there's some distance there, some disconnect, and maybe, you know, this could be a time where you do reach out and talk to family. Maybe you lost touch with a relative, a masculine relative, who was very much there for you, especially like an uncle, you know, maybe like life has been lifing, and then again, you all just stop talking, but maybe you reconnect in that way. So, or maybe, because I'm seeing like a nephew or a niece, who's able to like call up their uncle, and their uncle is like right there, you know what I'm saying? Like right there when you need them. They'll help you like with a ride, or like help you with a few dollars to get you, to tide you over to your next paycheck, like stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? So if that is the case, that's what I see. And then, you know, they don't necessarily have to be an earth sign. They can have those earth placements in their chart. um, or vice versa. But yeah. So yeah, by end of the week, you're coming out in the reading, the Chariot card. This is all about fast movement, point A to point B. Also, whenever I see these two figures, the I forget what they're called, the sphinxes or whatever, I think a duality. I don't know, some of you, even though that's not necessarily represented by Libra or balance, but I see balance, I see energy like that. So, you could be, dealing with a Libra as well, or you have it in your chart like me. 1 second. I don't know why my voice is trying to go out. But yeah, aside from that though, the Chariot card, this is all about like, willpower, victory, determination, moving forward without without a care. You're kind of like whatever is like in back here, whatever it is you were worried about, that the nonsense kind of ceases and you move away from it basically. And I also look at this as they have a wand in their hand. Usually in the original tarot, the Chariot, they'll have, they're like in that carriage thing, and they're kind of, they have the sphinxes like carrying them forward or showing them the way forward. So yeah, I really feel like this is moving away from things that held you back, especially like fear over like stability and like your success, like fear and like your own, it's almost like you fear your own success, like you fear like when things are too good to be true. It's kind of like one of those things, but you move past that energy and get into that Chariot energy, your energy, and you become more disciplined. You have, and I mentioned the duality, like you have control over that light and dark energy, right? And so you're able to kind of move past anything in your way. And so, especially with the feeding crows transformation number 3, and the numbers, okay, so the numbers that you have are 17, 37, and 3. And then you have, you're coming out in the reading, but you could be dealing with another Cancer. And you have Pentacles, so you could be dealing with Earth signs. But with feeding crows transformation, this could definitely be a transformation that you're going through by the end of the week, especially if you're moving away from something. I don't necessarily get like moving away permanently, but it could be like a short distance trip that you go on that kind of transforms you, and makes you all for the better. But this also could be moving away from energy, negative thought processes, especially fear-based thoughts. Moving away from that and get into a better state of how better state of mind. All right, so that's the cards. So let's get your affirmation or quote for the week. This is: my relationships, both platonic and romantic, are loving, fulfilling, and protected. Again, that was my relationships, both platonic and romantic, are loving, fulfilling, and protected. And don't come from my handwriting, okay? So, Cancers, that was your reading. Hopefully it resonated. Like the video, share the video, leave a comment. It can be telling me how the video resonated, if you feel comfortable sharing. If you don't, you can leave an emoji. Subscribe to the channel. Check out my other channel, main channel, which is Stephanie Lachey. Yeah, if you like travel vlogs, sit down videos where you talk about different subjects, current events, regular, things that are going on in the moment right now. If you like that, definitely go check that out. And I believe that is it. So I'm gonna wrap it up here. And I will see you next week. Have a good week. I will try to have the all signs reading up, I promise, by tomorrow. I don't feel like doing it tonight because my voice is already cracking, getting on my nerves. But yeah, so yeah, I will see you next week. Bye.